motorcyclists and the Beeline Moto. So this Beeline Moto, really small, lovely little device there that you can mount anywhere really on your bike. They have lots of different mounting options. When I bought it when they were on Kickstarter. The Kickstarter has finished, they're now commercially selling it, and they've improved, you know, the mounting options as well. So what I have here on my Beeline is a handlebar mount. So it's like a giant wedding ring that goes over your handlebar. You tighten it in place and then you put the Beeline on top, and it's great. There's one negative, and that negative is that Beeline on top, the screws that they used are now they've worn off. So if I wanted to get the screw off the head, I have to use I'll have to drill it out basically. I don't know if they've upped those screws since, but that's something to bear in mind if you are putting it on, maybe, you know, buy an aftermarket or what have you. Or just go with what wasn't available when I got mine, but it comes with this universal tie system, basically elastic bands that tie around anything you can tie it around. What I'm probably going to do is lose my mount where it is, because to look at it I have to look down like this, and you know, I'm taking my eyes off the road, whereas if I can mount it here I can actually tuck down and get both in. I think it'll be a better position for me. I'll still put it under the cowling, but I think that will be a better position. So I'll be moving mine soon, and literally you just use sticky mount basically, like you get with the GoPros. You sticky mount it up there and that's it. So the Beeline, at the moment I have it in compass mode. There are two modes. I mean, I said this in the original video and I'll say it again. Beeline has a better, more informative video on how the product actually works. So if you want that, go on their website, have a look at that. But if you want to know a rider's opinion of living with it and using it for different routes, then this is the video for you. And what I love is this compass mode. You have two modes. You have compass and you have normal traditional sat nav mode, you know, like in so many miles turn, you know, in 3 miles you go around about, take the third exit. Now there's no voice prompt, so you don't Bluetooth through, but what it does do is it Bluetooths to my phone that is in my pocket, and that's where it's getting all of its sat nav juicy information from. I believe the maps are downloaded before you set off on your 4G, so if you do lose signal, it's not going to mess up your ride, and I've never had it cause an issue. It is really lovely in this compass mode. What I love about compass mode is you're going to get where you're going. So I can see I've got 9 miles left, and obviously if the 9 miles is ticking down, I know I'm heading in the right direction, and the compass is telling me which direction to head in. So this compass now, which is sort of telling me my end place is there, but if all of a sudden it was pointing, you know, 90 degrees left, then I need to start thinking about heading onto a road left as soon as I possibly can, getting back onto track. So that's the beauty of the compass mode, is that you still have the freedom to not be told what to do, not be like, oh, you know, you've got to turn here at this point, you've got to turn that, you've got to take this route. It is, you literally just keep going in the direction the Beeline's pointing, and just pick up the roads as you go along, and you still get lost, you know. That's the beauty of it. That's what I love about going out on the bike for a jolly, is just discovering new roads and places, and getting lost. You know, I've discovered the nicest roads, the nicest vistas and views by, you know, just getting lost, and the compass allows me to do that. It's like here, it's pointing to the right, and I think, well, shall I take this road here to the right? You know, I could go in that direction to get me where I am, but you know, I actually know where I'm going today, so I'm going to stick on this road here. But it is brilliant. It is lovely. I can see, you know, all the information I need. Now, if you need to be somewhere at a certain time and you can't afford to get lost, that's where the actual normal sat nav bit works really well. And it's minimalistic, so what you're seeing on the screen is all the information you need not distracting you. And I'm dyslexic and I take things literal, so you know, when it says like, you know, the next turn in on the left and you're a bit and oh, is it this one here, is it not, you know, and you take the wrong turn in and it recalculates and readjusts. So I do it the same if I have a sat nav, you know, with the screen and it shows me the lanes. So you're still going to get those issues on there if you're like me. If you're really good at reading sat navs and you never get lost with them, then you're going to be even better. But it is compact, it is unobtrusive. The battery life is good, but it's kind of a false economy on the battery life. Sometimes I won't use the Beeline for quite a while, and what will happen is it sits in my garage, and sort of after 2 weeks it's gone from fully charged to fully empty. On a ride, I think you get hours and hours and hours with it. So it's really, really good. I recommend it. It is great. You can still go out and get lost without losing the thrill of, you know, the freedom of a motorbike, and that's why really you should get one. Price wise, I think I got it for £100 when it was on Kickstarter, and I think the price now is up. I think it's about £150. Still well worth it. It is so small and compact. You put it in your pocket, you leave it on the bike. It's not really, you know, most people won't know what it is, but it is very nickable, in that you can just unscrew it, put it in your pocket and walk off, which is why if you get to a destination you might as well do just that. The app is brilliant, really easy to use. You just go in, you say where you want to go, it pulls up the routes, it uses Google Maps. You can change the route if you want, you know, so if you prefer to go via this direction or that direction, you can do that very, very easily. It's you then just say go, it puts it onto the Beeline, you put the Beeline on your bike and off you trot, and it's really as simple as that. You say compass or sat nav mode. You can change it from the phone on the fly, so now if I want to change this from compass mode into the sat nav mode, I'd have to pull over, pull my phone out, but 3 or 4 clicks and it's in the sat nav mode. So really easy. What I'm going to do is flick zoom to satellite nav mode so you can see that on the screen, but as it is now, as I showed earlier, the compass was off in that direction, thinking, oh, should I go that way? And I knew the road here would take me there, and you can see the compass is now on the right road, so I know I'm going in the right direction. It was 16 miles when I set off, it's down to 7, so I know it's counting down in the right direction. I've got all this freedom to really do what I want route wise and not have to worry about my sat nav. So really, really easy to view, really easy to read where you're going, and yeah, for under 200 quid, easily mount. I mean, if you don't get the bracket I've got, it's interchangeable then between bikes, if you use the universal mount. There's really not a lot to not love about this product, and if you know, even if you don't need a sat nav and you don't want your phone, say, being mounted on your handlebars like I've got here, I've got the option for both, then this is just a nice alternative, because it's low profile, it gets you where you want to go, it gives you freedom. It's really just, you know, such a well executed product. I can't really fault it. It's perfect.
Okay, so I wanted to quickly switch to how the app works, and when you launch the app you can see your favorites and also a big where to box. When you go into the where to, you start typing where you want to go. It's Google Maps, so it will find directly. I mean, I've chosen Sports Bike Shop here, and you have 2 options, route mode or compass mode, and then you hit go. It sends it straight away to the Beeline, and that's it. You're now tethered, and if you want as well, you can display on your phone what the Beeline will show. It's really that simple to just be up and running. At this point, you just lock your phone, put it in your pocket, put the Beeline on your bike, and off you go. If you need to make adjustments on the fly, you can, but I rather end a route and start a new one. It's far easier. But it's Google Maps, so you can make lots of changes with regards to adding in waypoints, moving them. You can have differences in the terrain detail. You can switch from satellite mode to hybrid to map mode. It's just very simple and clean. On the Beeline, once the route is on there, you can navigate through the menu here, so you can have miles per hour, you can have the duration and the trip meter, the time, how long you've been on that particular ride, and also the battery level. And what's quite good is it also gives you your phone battery level as well as the device. And then obviously you can end a ride on the Beeline or back on the phone. You can just hit the big red square to stop your ride. But it's very clean, very intuitive. If you use Google Maps or even Apple Maps, they're very similar in the way that they work. And it's just easy. You won't find any issues there. I found this to be a very rock solid, reliable system. There's no issue there. At the end of your ride, you can see here on the screen, you can share, you can do all the social stuff, you can save it to your favorites. So you do have some nice little tweaks there. They often add updates to the app, and they are adding in graded routes, which is quite cool. If you want to find new roads to go on, you can get that within the Beeline app, so they're being very proactive on that side of things. So as always, guys, I hope this video was useful and gives you a bit of the emotional side of things with how I've got on with the Beeline over the last year. So as always, please like and subscribe. It means the world to me, and thanks.